Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
The following is a News Channel 8 special presentation.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. I'm Ande Engleman. Sam Shad's taking a few days of vacation. If you're a supporter of ballot question 9, the marijuana question, what's your worst fear? It could be coming true. Secretary of State Dean Heller is here this morning, and he's on the hot seat. And Sharron, who couldn't make it yesterday, is here today, and I may be on the hot seat. And Sam Shad has an interview with Sheriff Dennis Balaam, who's running for re-election. And Greg Ferraro and Martha Gould are here for a bit of punditry. It's all ahead today on Nevada Newsmakers.
Infrastructure. Millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. Whatever it takes, period. Infinite commitment, SBC.
Everything's got to work like, it's a symphony, right? So the piston goes down, then it's going to come back up. That's the job of the piston. You got your valves, you're like little doors, you know. Sometimes you get deposits on your valves. It's not the valve's fault. It's the gas you're buying. If you used Chevron with Techron, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
No gasoline cleans better than Chevron with Techron.
No monkeying around now.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because, you know, that's got a Hemi, too. You're right.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
Hey, Reno, how much would you expect to pay for 2 pairs of glasses? $200? $300? At iMasters, you can get 2 complete pairs of quality glasses in about an hour for just $99. We now have over 1,000 great-looking frames to choose from, and your second pair can be for you, a family member, or friend. Also, get a professional eye exam by an independent doctor of optometry next door for just $39. No appointment necessary. You'll find us in Meadowood Mall near Sam Goody. Why pay more? Save at iMasters.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and political analyst Ande Engleman.
As Secretary of State, Dean Heller also oversees the state's ballot questions. Dean, I wanted to ask you, I'm hearing a rumor about ballot question 9, the question on marijuana, and that is that gaming's getting ready to launch a campaign in opposition to the ballot question. Have you heard anything about this?
I've heard similar comments made to me from people that are involved in this process, but you know, I have heard that. It hasn't been confirmed with my office, but I've had several conversations with people saying that gaming's getting prepared and ready to come out and oppose question 9.
Why would they do that?
Well, in my opinion, I think they just believe that passing something like this on question 9 is not in the best interest of the state of Nevada. We got enough problems around here and this is a small group of people that are using Nevada as kind of a test state on this marijuana issue. And they have focused on Nevada and targeted Nevada, feeling that, well, probably because of the size of the state and the number of registered voters, that it would be easier to target them. So I think what gaming is saying is, hey, don't use Nevada as a test case. We have enough problems in this state fighting all the other issues that are coming down on us federally. Let's not deal with this marijuana issue.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to stay and come back at the end of the program with our pundit panel where we can discuss this with Greg Ferraro and Martha Gould and get their input. You also are the person that's responsible for the campaign disclosure reports.
That's correct.
And campaign disclosure reports are for what purpose?
Well, I am a strong advocate of making sure that the public has the necessary information so that when they go to the voting booth on Election Day, that they have an opportunity to cast a reasonable vote, that they know where these campaign contributions are coming from. It's been my opinion from the beginning, Andy, that there's no better way to be able to determine how a person is going to vote when they're serving you on the city council, county commission, or even in the legislature, than going and looking where their campaign contributions are coming from. You can really get a good understanding of their tendencies.
Okay, so if somebody refused, you have a whole group of people that are refusing to file these campaign disclosures.
That's correct.
Who is that, and what's that about?
Well, we have a group of, let's see, how many, I have a number here, 19 candidates that refuse to file. Most of them are Independent American Party candidates. We actually extended, since they did file on time for the first report, we allowed them to extend it to the 30th, giving them some kind of a leeway. Here's a second chance. Only one candidate chose to do that. Her name was Sheila Nightingale. The rest of them refused to sign it, so those reports
and
are
they're refusing. I heard one time they said it was a violation of their rights of privacy. What reasons
Well,
are
we
they
have a
giving?
number of them. This happens to be my opponent, but he says, I totally regret this form. I acknowledge nothing, and this form is a violation of law and my religious beliefs.
All right, as Secretary of State, though, you have to enforce these laws.
Right.
And is this
Well,
going
most
to
of
court?
these laws I'm the author of, so yes, I'm going to enforce the laws that I have authored, and there are civil penalties for not filing these reports. So as of yesterday, those non-filers or those who refuse to file will be sent over to the Attorney General's office.
Okay, two real quick questions.
Sure.
We're running out of time. TRPA.
Yes.
All right, I can't have any glass in my house on the lakefront
No.
because it reflects?
Right.
What if I get non-glare glass?
Well, let me tell you, what my point is that we're talking about the natural beauty of Lake Tahoe. Who's against the natural beauty of that basin?
You have Mike
And,
O'Callahan on your side.
Well, there are people out there that will tell you to your face that my home, people go to Lake Tahoe to see my home on the shore. And I'm telling you right now that people go to Lake Tahoe to see the natural beauty of that basin. And I am fighting for the natural beauty.
Okay, and are you going to investigate candidate John Hunt for Attorney General? The complaint's been filed with your office, right?
Well, we're in that process right now, and all we're doing is information gathering at this point. We have not formally launched an investigation at this point. Right now, we have asked the Hunt campaign to respond to those allegations.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll be back after this break.
Over the past 20 years, I've seen a lot of changes in education.
I hope that I've had a positive effect on the students who have sat in my classroom.
I've taught them English and math, and I've taught them science. But if there's one legacy I hope I've left with them,
it's the value of a quality education.
In my experience, the Nevada State Education Association has
consistently stood up for quality education
for our kids and their future.
Any questions?
Mom, Dad, this is Ted.
Hi, Ted. Hey.
Hey, Teddy, it's your appetite. We need an Arby's Market Fresh roast beef and Swiss.
Oh, yeah.
Beef fresh from the oven. And bread so soft.
Arby's Market Fresh roast beef and Swiss. A whole new way to think about roast beef sandwiches.
Sad thing is, he's the best one yet.
Give in to your grown-up tastes.
Come on. Yeah, I'm still in the car. 10 minutes, an hour, I've got no idea. This is ridiculous.
Can't wait to get your new Jetta? With offers like this, why would you?
Can't contain their excitement about Domino's Pizza new Buffalo Chicken Kickers. Tender cuts of all white chicken breast with a kick of spicy buffalo flavor baked through and through. 10 pieces for $5.99. You're the chicken man! Get the door and get a kick out of dinner tonight. Now get an order of Cinesticks free when you buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99.
The hottest race in any community is that of sheriff, and Washoe County is no exception. Now, through the magic of electronics, we have an interview between Sam Shadd and Sheriff Dennis Balaam, the incumbent, who's running for re-election.
The sheriff's race primary was a little bit closer than some might have thought. The incumbent was appointed 2 years ago, and he's running for the office now. Dennis Balaam joins us. He is our sheriff. Pleasure to have you here, Dennis.
Thank you, Sam. Pleasure to be here.
All right, let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
You had a prisoner escape. You're the
Yes.
sheriff. You're the man in charge. You take the heat. What happened?
Well, you know, we've had 300,000 people booked in there since 1988 when the facility was built. We've only had one actually get out of a lockdown cell. That was Mr. Plummer. We've had 15 other escapes during that time under three sheriffs. We had 13 of those that were just opportunities where they were not locked down, and they were able to get out of the facility. One got out of a secured or semi-secured, I guess, exercise yard, and another one was able to bend the bar in the window, and he didn't make it all the way out. He soaped himself up and got hung up there. But this individual was successful in getting out, and yes, as the captain of the ship, I take the heat for this, but if the people that were working there, we've made adjustments due to the type of environment that we have there, the different types of inmates that we've had there, and policies and procedures are in place that if in fact they would have been followed, this individual would not have escaped this time. 24 times previously, we had information that was provided to our staff where we implemented the policies and procedures that were on the books, and we were able to stop those escapes. In this particular case, a letter was given to a deputy, and the deputy, it said, someone's trying to break out of here when you guys are in the roving status. This particular deputy, who is a tenured deputy, gave it to an individual that had less than 30 days and says, hey, you need to write paper on this. Didn't do the job. The sergeant that took this looked at that information, assumed that they had checked this out, and basically stopped the procedure by saying a letter was received, someone's trying to get out, the deputies checked it out, and everything is okay. Not true. So if in fact they would have done the job that they're there paid to do, this would have never happened. This individual was able to breach a 1.5 by 4-inch metal bar that goes across the center of a 13-inch by 43-inch window. You and I can squeeze everything in that 5 3/4 inches except one thing, and that's your head. Whether the window is there or not, no one can get out. And that is what has been the deterrent. He was able to secure within the facility a hacksaw. It took him multiple weeks to cut through that, and he was able to do that. Those cells, by policy, are to be examined and inspected once every 10 days. It took him anywhere up to 4 weeks to work through that. That would have been spotted by anyone doing a proper cell inspection.
So did heads roll? Excuse me, heads roll?
Well, we're going to, I'm coming out this week, and there is going to be some discipline. In fact, I'm going to discipline everybody from the undersheriff all the way down to the individual deputies. Yes. I mean, I'm being told that they're there to do the job. These people are making $70,000 to $100,000 a year. You expect them to do the job. They're telling me they're doing the job. So yes, people will stand and be accountable.
Would you have preferred to have been elected rather than appointed to this job the first time around?
Well, I think any time that you're appointed, it leaves room for the public to say, you know, why did this happen? He really was just handed the job. But I competed with my opponent and a couple of other individuals for this job. We went in, we went through an interview, and we were selected on equal, based on our merits by the Board of County Commissioners.
Let me ask you one last question. We have about 30 seconds or so. What do you plan to do if reelected? Or elected, I should say.
Okay. What I plan to do is this: to protect this community, provide the very best protection, and provide the protection for the individuals, officers that work for me.
Dennis Balaam, Sheriff, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. And we'll be back on About a Newsmakers after this.
Welcome back. Yesterday, Sharon Angle was scheduled to be on here with her opponent, Jan Gilbert, and we never heard from her until after the show was over. And Greg Ferraro, loath as I am to say it, was correct. And she had, in fact, had car trouble. Is that right, Sharon?
That's correct. Thank you so much for being so gracious to me today and allowing me to come back.
You're quite welcome. Now, we don't have a lot of time, so let me just quickly ask you some questions, okay?
Surely.
Yucca Mountain, are you for nuclear waste being trucked into Nevada or not?
I don't think anybody's for that.
But I think I describe myself as a pragmatic optimist. I think we have to look at the realities of the situation. And if they're going to bring it into our state, I think we need to solve some of the problems that we have here in our state with federal dollars. The trench could be one of those problems. If they're going to bring nuclear waste through our state, we certainly don't want it through downtown Reno. Let's take it out around, and couldn't the feds pay for that?
So you'd like to start negotiating with them now?
I'm not sure. Let's wait and see what happens with our lawsuits that we have pending. But I think that we have to look out there on the horizon and understand that we only have 4 votes and that things don't look so good in Nevada's favor.
Taxes. You were quoted in the newspaper yesterday as saying you were not in favor of any of the tax hikes that are being proposed. You don't feel they're necessary?
Well, I look to Colorado. I think they've done something wonderful there. They balanced the budget after 9/11 and rebated to their citizens $927 million. And the reason they did that is because they based their budgeting process on inflation plus population growth. So I think we should look to the Colorado model.
But the governor says he's cut all that he can cut, that there's no more cutting that can be done, and there's going to be a huge shortfall in government if we don't do something about taxes.
Well, I know my constituents and I are looking at things like the recent Ande disclosure of $11 million for overtime and those kinds of things. So we're saying, please, let's take another look at what's going on in government.
Okay, and did you want to comment at all about that list that the Las Vegas Review-Journal ran that said you were one of the 5 worst lawmakers in the Assembly?
Well, if you look at that list, it was 35 pressmen and lobbyists, and I don't take money from past casinos or unions because I've made a contract with my constituency. And also, they know I'm just not a status quo legislator. I vote no on things like the trench and the unfunded mandates to education. We had one 459 last time, 179 annexation of unincorporated areas by cities. I voted against that one. Just different things that I vote no on because I think that's where my people stand. In fact, I go around door to door and ask them, where do you stand on the issues? And people know that I use a lot of shoe leather in the interim time, so I know where my people are, and I feel like I'm correctly representing them with my no votes.
Great. Sharron, thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back after these messages.
Yes, I like the dusty rose on you, too. Oh, hello. Welcome back to Cat Chat. Today, we're having a spa day, so let's all be extra quiet.
You thought I was bluffing? Try my new delicious taquitos with seasoned shredded beef and real cheddar cheese, or you're in for a Cat Chat-a-thon.
Shh. Ivanka is in her happy place. Who's next for a mani-pedi?
Deep in the heart of Harpo Studios, top secret plans are underway.
Hey, wait.
The best practical jokers in the biz are scheming up a storm. The biggest gags.
There's a camera here.
Outrageous stunts.
Go for
it. Hidden cameras. Gotcha.
I'm serious?
They never saw it coming. And I'm setting someone up big. It is payback time. Next Oprah.
Oprah, today at 4 on News Channel 8.
News Channel 8's InstaWeather. Live, accurate weather information close to home. So if you live here in Sparks, you'll know exactly what the weather is like from our weather sensors mounted here at the Wells Fargo on disk drive. With our exclusive network of weather technology, we give you the local weather right down to your town. On TV, on the web, and on your PC desktop. News Channel 8's InstaWeather. It's changing the way you look at weather.
InstaWeather, sponsored by Wells Fargo Bank, exclusively on News Channel 8.
Reno Business Executives. CEO IQ presents Jack Trout, consultant to Fortune 500 companies and best-selling author on marketing, October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Trout uses positioning to make companies more competitive. If he can boost the bottom line performance of Fortune 500 companies, he can do the same for your company on October 18th. And you can win a library of his autographed bestsellers at the luncheon October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Purchase your tickets today. Call 828-3939.
Welcome back to our pundit discussion. We have with us Dean Heller, Secretary of State, Martha Gould, representing Washoe County Democrats, and Greg Ferraro, representing Republicans. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get started right off the bat, Greg, with the information we got from Dean at the beginning of the show.
I think the Secretary was right, Andy. The number of gaming companies have decided to get involved on the anti-9 question. The NRA, the trade association organization that represents the majority of properties in Nevada, hasn't taken a position on 9 yet, and I don't know that they will. But independently, a number of companies are coming to the aid of the anti-9 effort and will get involved. And they're concerned about the image that that would have on the state.
You know, I can remember back when we first talked about acupuncture. Remember yesterday I talked about being the snake oil capital of the world, because that's what people talked about. If we approved Oriental medicine in the state of Nevada, that we would be the snake oil capital of the world. There are pluses and minuses, and I know from personal experience with friends that marijuana does help for people who are undergoing chemo.
And let's not let the debate be framed on that, what Martha just said. This is not whether or not it helps or it's medicinally important. Yeah, this is about volume. This is about 3 ounces, about that high.
So is it less
marijuana? And I don't think that that's.
Is it less bad if it's 1 ounce? I mean,
well,
you know, I mean, are we bickering over?
Should be framed differently.
That's right. I think it's a question now of, with that amount of pot, how does it get distributed? What kind of marketing opens up? You know, that allows a lot of people to carry a lot of marijuana that they can't carry now.
Is this being a little hypocritical, though? And I'm playing devil's advocate here, but this is a state that allows gambling, prostitution.
And outlaws water meters.
Yeah, right. Precisely. And now we're worried about our reputation?
Well, we have an interesting reputation, both inside and outside the Beltway. But then yesterday I said, is this moot? Because federal law takes precedence over state. And even if we make it legal in the state of Nevada, what's the impact from the federal legislation?
Frankly, I think this ballot question is going down anyway, looking at some of the numbers that, some of the polling that's been done on it. But frankly, I think there's some frustration with special interest groups trying to bring nuclear waste to this state, and I think there's some frustration of special interests bringing marijuana to this state.
I couldn't agree more. I think that's
in fact, there's nothing but special interests all over the countryside.
Okay, let's quickly just talk. I want to talk about lotteries. What's wrong with a lottery to help fund our state? And people are going to the state. To state line, they're buying lottery tickets in California. They're mailing for them in Massachusetts. Why can't we sell lottery tickets here?
If you look, you know, when the lottery came into being in California, it was to help schools. Well, the schools in California are in terrible shape. And the majority of the money from the lottery has not gone to the schools. It's gone either for the payouts or for administration.
All right, well, that's California. We could do things differently here than California does it. What's wrong with the lottery?
Let me just, I think, put a little context in this. I don't know that we know enough about how a lottery would work in Nevada.
Thank you.
There are estimates that it may yield as much as $50 million. I don't know, and I think the legislature has to examine it thoroughly to determine whether it's a viable taxation option. Clearly, we've got to put together a new tax plan in this state that gets us to the point where we can meet our structural deficit, which may be as much as $800 million 10 years from now. I think any tax idea is a good one, and it needs to belong on the table. As far as us knowing enough to determine today or tomorrow is a lottery viable, I don't think we know enough.
And I happen to agree with Greg, which may never happen again.
Say it again.
In terms of what you said about taxes, yes, at this point I do agree with you.
The argument's going to be, in the end, I believe, by those who opposed, is does gaming have to now compete against the state? I mean, they're competing against Indian gaming, they're competing against each other. So now do they start competing against the state of Nevada?
Is that going to be one of the arguments?
You know, the members of the tax panel who represent the gaming industry have said, sure, let's examine it. Let's look at it.
So are we talking about an interim study on lotteries, maybe?
Oh, I don't know that it will take that. My sense of it is that the legislature will look at different tax options that the task force puts forward. They'll evaluate them. The governor will weigh in on how he thinks it ought to be put together. And at the end of the day, as I predicted yesterday, I think personally that we don't have the population base in Nevada to support a lottery.
And I would hope somewhere along the line they would remember the Price-Waterhouse study.
Oh, well, which one? We have 10 of them, don't we? I want to quickly go
the one
to...
they did on taxation.
Right. I want to go to independent Americans not filing their campaign disclosure statements. This law is in effect in other states. I mean, in other states, people file these campaign disclosure statements. We're not the only state that does
The
this.
public has a right to know where campaign contributions are coming from.
So the question is there something they're trying to hide? I mean, is it a case of somebody contributing to their campaign who doesn't want it known that he's contributing to the campaign?
I would like to know why they don't want people to know who has contributed to their campaigns.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're going to get in the game, there are rules by which you have to play by, and either you comply or you don't.
And I want to say I have called them, and I do not get my calls returned. We have approached candidates individually and as a party, and we've had no response back.
This happens to be state law. Everyone who runs for office understands beforehand what the rules and the regulations are. And frankly, if you're going to be in the legislature, one would think you would want to uphold the law of the state, the legislature wherein you're going to serve if you get elected.
Now, you plan on bringing a bill to this session of the legislature so that you can go in and check people's disclosure statements. Do I have that correct?
Well, we want the authority to audit these financial forms, these contribution and expense reports. What happens is they get sent to my office, no one takes a look at it, the press takes a look at it, maybe someone's opponent will take a look at it, but frankly right now I do not have the authority to look through these C&E reports.
You know, I think the irony is, Andy, that a lot of independent American candidates are concerned about campaign finance reform, yet they don't comply with the basic rules. You know, it causes me some concern.
Okay,
well, it's hypocritical.
We have time just for predictions real quick. If anybody, I didn't warn you about this, but you have a prediction.
I predict that the Secretary of State will investigate John Hunt on the campaign finances.
Very interesting.
And even though I'm wishy-washy over marijuana, I think that it will pass.
Think it will pass?
I predict that the turnout will be between 45 to 50%. Unfortunately, without a tough governor's race, I don't believe there's compelling reasons for people to get to the polls.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Looking for the fountain of youth? IGF may just have the answer. A convenient human growth hormone spray for a more youthful you. Available at the Herb Lady today.
Reno Business Executives. CEO IQ presents Jack Trout, consultant to Fortune 500 companies and best-selling author on marketing, October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Trout uses positioning to make companies more competitive. If he can boost the bottom line performance of Fortune 500 companies, he can do the same for your company on October 18th. And you can win a library of his autographed bestsellers at the luncheon October 18th at the Atlantis Resort Casino. Purchase your tickets today. Call 828-3939.
It's the 11th annual Taste for Travel and Travel Auction, Thursday, October 3rd at the Reno Hilton. Sample delicacies created by the area's finest chefs and bid on a fabulous vacation package to Switzerland, as well as New York, Hawaii, Alaska, Florida, and many more destinations, while helping Care Chest provide free medical supplies and equipment for Nevadans in need.
You are what you eat.
The 11th annual Taste for Travel, Thursday, October 3rd at the Reno Hilton. Call Care Chest for tickets today.
News Channel 8's InstaWeather. Live, accurate weather information close to home. So if you live here in Sparks, you'll know exactly what the weather is like from our weather sensors mounted here at the Wells Fargo on disk drive. With our exclusive network of weather technology, we give you the local weather right down to your town, on TV, on the web, and on your PC desktop. News Channel 8's InstaWeather. It's changing the way you look at weather.
InstaWeather, sponsored by Wells Fargo Bank, exclusively on News Channel 8.
There's a camera here.
Hidden cameras. Practical jokes.
I'm serious.
And I'm setting someone up big. It is payback time. Next Oprah.
Oprah, today at 4 on News Channel 8.
Well, one thing about Nevada Newsmakers, we're never boring. Be with us tomorrow when we have the state's most powerful lobbyist, Harvey Whittemore, who could be your lobbyist in Washoe County. And then we have Don Gustafson and his opponent, Debbie Smith. And don't forget to send us your comments and keep those tips coming to our email address, which is newsmakers@colotv.com. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.